What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Now today we're going to be talking about money. Money. Everyone's favorite topic. Now listen, I know you're probably thinking, it's like, Jesse, what qualifies you to talk to me about money? Well, listen, I don't have a Lamborghini in the garage. I don't have $1 million in the bank, which is inside joke if you're into personal development, knowledge. But I just wanted to share my latest epiphanies, my latest realizations that I've had so far with money. And I also thought it'd be a cool follow-up to the last video I did on the cash flow quadrant, where I share some of the different opportunities you can take advantage of, whether you are in the career world, if you are in the entrepreneur world, and even the business world, and how you can identify where exactly you're at and which opportunities you can leverage. So highly recommend that video. It's about a 30-minute video, the cash flow quadrant. But today, like I said, we're talking about the 3 money mindsets. And the first one I want to talk to you about is savings. So I know we all grow up with the traditional mindset of save your money, which honestly, I do believe there is true value in that. But my realization has been lately is that I am not necessarily going to be able to save my way to wealth. Because even if you take the basic aspiration of the middle class, which is 100 grand a year, 6 figures, that's what many of us aspire to or what have you. But in today's fast-paced world, 6 figures is becoming the new middle class. Because if you do the math, and even if you're lucky enough to save half of that, it's still going to take you 20 plus years to save your way to your first 7 figures, which is the next aspiration, $1 million, $2 million, or what have you. And yes, you have compound interest or what have you, but we all know what kind of a roller coaster ride that has been lately, right? So, I wanted to just share, like I said, my realizations, but I also want to shed some light on some things you can do to be proactive and give you some hope to be able to reach your financial goals. So my mindset with savings has been to, of course, apply some of the traditional, which has been the traditional thoughts, which has been the emergency fund, which, yes, I highly recommend the 6-month emergency fund. And beyond that, if you have a year, that would actually be even better. But the mindset of, I want you to do away with the mindset of just hoping to save your way to wealth and putting so much focus on accumulation. So that's the contradiction I want to share with you on saving. So yes, have the emergency fund, have the plan B or what have you. You don't want to spend everything you make, but eliminate the mindset of thinking you're going to get to that end goal by just saving, because ultimately I believe you have to produce, you have to provide value to be able to progress in your income earning abilities. And so with that said, I'll go ahead and jump into the next one, the economical mindset. So I chose that word because I know a lot of times we think frugality or being cheap or what have you. And I figured the word being economical would be a lot better, because this way I want you to be conscious of what you're spending your money on, how much you're spending, what truly brings you value that you're actually spending your money on. Because a lot of times we place a lot of value on high dollar monetary things that we think will bring us joy, but a lot of times a lot of things that bring us joy are free. Now, say for example you have like the Disney trip, you think that's going to bring a lot of joy to your family. And I have kids, so we've been to Disney, nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times kids will have just as much fun at your local pool, at at whatever it is, the beach within your city or what have you. Now, I'm not saying don't aspire to those Disney trips, to those world travel trips, but don't pressure yourself into thinking you must give that to your loved ones. When the time is right, yes, that's why I mean keep the mindset of being economical, being aware of where your money's going, but also I want you to be in the present moment and enjoy the time with your family, with your loved ones, with yourself. Give yourself the joy of personal experiences, because that's why I said that I eliminated the word frugal or being cheap, because then you're going back to the save your way to wealth mindset, which is penny pinching, which is sacrificing beyond a certain point. Yes, there's a time for sacrificing, but you don't want to sacrifice, as the example I gave here, all 20 years of your life, 25 plus, and then get to the end of the rainbow expecting this pot of gold that's going to give you fulfillment. So, I hope you're following me here, because I try to take a very holistic approach to where, yes, you want that hustle and grind mindset, but I don't want you to get to the end of your life and then realize, damn, well, what the heck was all this for? Because as I mentioned, I don't identify as being a financial expert. If you find value in some of these things that I'm sharing, please feel free to use them. If not, just disregard the information. But there's a reason we have all these stories of celebrity lottery winners. There's plenty of examples. You can Google ask Dr. Google or what have you, and you can read up on some of these stories. And it's sad, because just the fact that you come into money doesn't necessarily prepare you to be able to handle this money. So that's why I want to offer some value, and like I said, my latest insights and epiphanies. But let's keep moving. The third money mindset that I wanted to share with you is to be subjective. This one is another biggie, because only you can define success. This is a really, really powerful lesson that I learned in the last mastermind that I attended. And there was people here with very, very deep portfolios. I'm talking about probably like 5 to 10 million plus. And one of the stories that one of the speakers were sharing is that beyond his experience of a $3 to $5 million portfolio, things became kind of fuzzy. Like, there's only so much damn money you can spend. So there's only so much damn things you can buy. That was the message he was trying to share. And then the other problem is that once you get to that higher level, he also invests in masterminds and networking events at a higher level. So then you run into people that make twice as much as you, even if you are a millionaire. Then you get into the billionaire status or what have you. So there's always going to be somebody else that makes more money than you. So you want to be aware of not falling into the comparison game. That's why I say to be subjective. Because he mentioned that the problem at that higher levels, and then you fall back into the keeping up with the Joneses mindset or comparison, which is what all of the middle class falls into back when you're starting off and going through your journey. So it's almost like a never-ending rat wheel. And I thought that lesson was very, very powerful, and that's where I decided to keep a mindset of being subjective. And I've mentioned it before, guys, trust me, I'm super driven. I want to make really good money that I can hopefully pass on even to my grandkids or what have you, with the right structures, the right financial structures, the right legacy structures. But in the end, you want to make sure you don't miss out on your whole life journey. So that's where I think these three money mindsets will really help you identify, as I mentioned, your exact financial goals, how exactly you're going to reach those financial goals, and then also help you determine to set some target goals as well, because you do want a target, you want direction to know exactly where you will end up. Now, if you make it to that goal prior to your deadline, then yeah, feel free to keep expanding, but do not fall into the traps of having to keep up with everyone else. Like I said, the comparison game. And as I'm going through the steps, I'm remembering my experience with that mentorship. Guys, it was so powerful. Another key lesson that I learned was that many times we want to achieve, as human beings, we want to achieve the infinite in the finite. So going back to the money example and like the millionaire to billionaire status, is that can you achieve the infinite in the finite? So our life is limited. We have a finite time set to our life. I think the maximum lifespan, if you do the math on the numbers, or if you do the math into a number, I think it's hovering somewhere around, I don't know, you can do your own research, 28,000 to 30,000 days if you're lucky enough to make it to those later years of 80 or even 90 years old. Our time is finite, guys. So let's realize that we cannot achieve the infinite in the finite. And I just thought that was a super deep, powerful lesson, because like I said, we get caught up in trying to achieve more and more and more, and then we end up missing the present moment, which honestly I think is what we truly seek, what I think will truly bring us fulfillment. So I just don't want you to miss out, guys, and I thought this would be some cool mindsets for you to keep as you go out there and get your hustle on, get your grind on. But yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. As I mentioned, guys, disclosure, just feel free to take away what's useful. If not, just disregard the whole video. But if you found value, please feel free to like, subscribe, share with somebody you think might enjoy the video, and we'll see you on the next one.